So I want to start by saying that I was legitimately excited about this movie. I liked Shannon Purser a lot in Stranger Things, and I think Noah Centineo is completely adorable, and I adored him in To All the Boys I've Loved Before, so I was ready to go with this. Also, it presses pretty much every button in my soft, cliche-loving heart. I mean, wrong number text sparks a completely unlikely romance. Yes, give me that every single time. But then I watched it, and I was so disappointed. Quite honestly, there were a lot of things to be disappointed about, but I think I've managed to narrow it down to five. Problem number one, the trans joke. This happens within like the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, and honestly, I get that teenagers say crappy homophobic and or transphobic things on a daily basis, but do we really need to be doing that in the movies that they're going to be watching? Do we really need to be modeling that for them? There are many other ways to make the point that Sierra is being bullied about the way that she looks without resorting to transphobic jokes in 2018. Let's not. Number two, the part where Sierra pretends to be deaf. Mind you, at the point where this happens in the movie, we've already met Noah Centineo's character, Jamie's brother, who is actually deaf, and we've seen the way that Jamie interacts with him, and it's super cute and it's super normal. And at first, I found that extraordinarily refreshing, and I loved it. And at the point in the movie where she pretends this, she has been carrying on phone conversations with Jamie. And he still hasn't seen her. He has no idea who she is. He still thinks she's this generically hot cheerleader who is super popular at school, and she has done nothing to counteract this assumption because she thinks that he will lose interest in her if he knows who she really is. So anyway, they've been talking a lot, and she sees him out and about with this aforementioned deaf brother while she's out doing community service. And she panics that he's going to recognize her voice, so she pretends to be deaf. And in the process of this, she's making all these weird attempts at sign language and saying all these off-color, odd things because obviously she has no clue what she's doing. Even though he has already been like, oh, you're deaf? My brother's deaf too. Cool, we can sign together. And at no point is she like, ooh, maybe it's not a good idea for me to go on with this particular charade. Maybe I should come clean or pretend that I'm sick or literally anything other than what I am right now doing. So instead, she just continues to say weird stuff in sign language, which he understands and translates for her and clearly thinks is very strange. But still, like for some reason, doesn't seem to really suspect her of anything. So I don't know. And as a person who has a disability, I'm super sensitive to representation in my entertainment. And that particular thing bothered me a lot because if you think about it, how often do we see deaf people portrayed in the movies? Think about 5 movies that have deaf people in them from the last decade. You see my point? Yes, to a point, the representation is a good thing, but using the representation as some sort of weird punchline, not so much. So as this movie continues, Sierra and the generically hot cheerleader, Veronica, become friends because Sierra's tutoring Veronica and Veronica is helping Sierra with the whole Jamie thing and like keeping her secret and whatever because Sierra knows that Veronica was the one to give Jamie her number as a joke in the first place. Whatever. It's high school drama. So they become friends, and there's a point where Veronica goes on a date with Jamie, with Sierra sort of lurking there in the background to see how it goes. But she's trying to sort of like tell her how to behave with Jamie so that it's almost as though she is the one who is going on the date with him. It's a lot. But the point is, at the end of this date, Jamie obviously wants to kiss Veronica because that's what you do at the end of a date. And she tells him to close his eyes and does like a switcheroo with Sierra so that Sierra is the one standing in front of him when he kisses her. Do we not see the consent issue there? Like, it's one thing to think that you're talking to someone that you're not really talking to. That's not great either. But to actually take it so far as to have him kissing someone while actively thinking that that person is a different human being is really bad. It made me very, very uncomfortable. There's a lot of consent issues there, and honestly, that needed to be specifically apologized for. And much like the feigning of the deafness, it was never independently addressed. And both of those things, to my view, really needed individual apologies. At the very end, when he kisses her for real, spoiler alert, sorry, but obviously this whole video is a spoiler, um, he just kind of makes a joke about it. He's like, oh, have we done that before? Ha ha. And I guess it's cool that he's now suddenly cool with that, but again, I just think it puts out a really problematic message about consent and the rights that we should or should not have to other people's bodies. If he doesn't know who you are, you don't get to kiss him. That is not how it works. Okay, so this whole time, Jamie thinks that he's going on these great dates with Veronica. So there comes a moment where, seeing her, he kisses her hello or whatever. And Sierra happens to see this from the window and automatically assumes that this means that Veronica has turned on her and is intentionally kissing the boy that she knows that Sierra likes. And instead of talking to her about this, what Sierra decides to do is take the trust that Veronica has developed in her and completely bulldoze it by hacking Veronica's Instagram and posting a really personal and embarrassing picture, and then taking that picture and displaying it for the entire school. I mean, how are we supposed to root for this person? How? What are we supposed to do here? You know what we never see? We never see her, when she finds out what actually happened, go to Veronica and be like, oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. That was the most messed up thing I possibly could have done. What can I do to make this up to you? This never happens. This never happens, and at some point, for some reason, Veronica decides, even without her apology, and not accounting for the fact that she and Sierra are no longer speaking, that she's actually going to help Sierra win Jamie back. Why? Why does Veronica want to help this girl? Someone please explain. I am so tired. I am just truly so tired of trying to root for a person who just continues to do increasingly crappy things and never apologize for them. And when she finally does decide that she needs to do something about the fact that everyone is mad at her, she does it through a song that she writes that also doubles as an assignment for her English class. And that's cool. I was excited because I love music and because I assumed that this song was going to be an apology wherein she acknowledged the fact that she had done some things incorrectly. However, if you listen to this song and you look at the lyrics, what it really basically is just her saying, people don't like me because I'm ugly. Wah, I'm sad about it. How how is that gonna solve anything? How is that gonna make anybody be like, oh, you know what? Clearly I should give this girl a second chance. I I really don't even know how to talk about this. Can somebody just talk to me, please? Can somebody tell me what I missed here? Because I feel like there had to be something. There had to be something to this song that would have justified the fact that Veronica looked at it and was like, oh man, I need my best friend back. And that Jamie looked at it and was like, this is a girl that I want to go kiss for real. I had to miss something. Please, please come explain. So, those are my 5. Feel free to let me know your thoughts and feelings on this movie. I'm really curious to see how other people received it.